Everybody, welcome back to my channel. Another month has bitten the dust. I feel like every 2 videos I come on and say that phrase. And I also feel like every time I say that phrase, I say something to the effect of, this year is going by too fast. Because it is, but that's okay. I guess that's just the way it works. It is now September, so I am here to share with you my August favorites. I have a couple of skincare, one very random, some fragrance, and a few makeup pieces. So let's go ahead and jump in because I have no idea how long this is going to be. I'm going to try to not speak too much. Let's start with skincare. This is the new vitamin C that has been added to the Truology family. This is the Vita C3 Triple C Antioxidant Complex. So if you have been following my channel at all, you know that I love their C Boost. It's one of my favorite, if not my favorite vitamin C's at the moment. And I'm currently using that. However, I am interchanging this with my C Boost. So I'll use my C Boost one day, I'll use this one day. The main difference between this and the C Boost is that this has L-ascorbic acid in it, which is the purest form of vitamin C, while the C Boost only has the tetrahexadecyl ascorbate, which is my favorite form. Now, there's a couple reasons that it is my favorite form. I don't have to worry so much as to where I put my vitamin C in my routine. Whereas when it's L-ascorbic acid, technically you're supposed to put it on first. I'm going to be doing an updated AM skincare routine, so you're going to see I do things a little bit different, and I have a reason behind it. But there's also a lot of products and ingredients that are said not to be mixed with L-ascorbic acid. Again, some of that is old news and it's come out that that's not a problem now, but I just feel like my skin in general likes the THD better. However, this also has THD in it, and it also has magnesium adsorbyl phosphate. So those are the 3, hence the name Vita C3, vitamin C ingredients that are in this. It also has a ton of antioxidants. It has ergothioneine, it has ferulic acid and vitamin E, which are said to really make the L-ascorbic acid work to its best ability. It does have that kind of vitamin C smell to it. It's not as strong as some other LAAs that I've tried in the past, but from what I've heard, and I may be completely wrong, I think that scent actually comes from the ferulic acid versus the vitamin C, but it is bright orange. You can see. Super bright orange, but it doesn't leave like an orange cast, right? It sinks in very nicely. It's great. If you are someone who likes L-ascorbic acid, I highly recommend this because you get that plus the other 2. I've had no irritation from this, and I wanted to talk to y'all about it. And you will be seeing it in my AM skincare, how I incorporate it, but another good launch from Truology. Honestly, she hasn't launched anything that I haven't liked. And then the other skincare is more of a device. Actually, it is a device, not more of a device. And this is a red light panel. So I talk about red light all the time. I talk about my current body mask, which I still use. I talk about my current body helmet, which I use. I have the current body eyewear, which I use. I love red light therapy. My sweet spot is every other night, I have come to find. And Maysama sent me their red light panel. Now this is a little bit different from other red light panels that you can find because not only does it have red light therapy, but it also has pulse light therapy. So pulse light is said to increase the efficacy of your red light treatment. It's supposed to optimize ATP output to help balance ATP production, which helps the free radical production. Lots of good things that pulse light is said to do. This has 3 times. So you can do 10 minutes, which I always do, 1 minute, 3 minutes, and 6 minutes. So that's actually 4 times. And you can turn it on just to do your red light, and then you can also do the pulsing light. I'm not gonna do that for very much in case anybody's sensitive to it, but there are different times, different functions, lots of different ways you can use this. A lot of people prefer a panel. If you're someone who doesn't want something very close to their face, like I have a family member who can't even wear t-shirts because she feels claustrophobic from the neckline of it. There's no way she'd be able to put a mask on her face. Panels cover more, so like red light's supposed to be really good for pain and joints. So if you wanted to put this by your knee or by your elbow or any, joints that may be having issues, it's not just for anti-aging purposes. That's what I use it for. So I kind of rotate in between this. If I'm traveling, I'll take my mask. If I'm at home, I'll rotate between my mask and the panel, and so far I'm really liking it. So if you want a whole separate video on that, I'm happy to do it, but I've had it for a couple of months and I just keep forgetting to put it into my favorites. All right, let's go on to makeup. And I have 4 things that I will try to talk about quickly because I've used them. I've used all of them but one in videos. The first is a foundation that I discovered at the very end of July. I did a whole video on it. I absolutely love it. Somebody messaged me on Instagram and said that she was told they're discontinuing it. I'm like, this is the story of my life. I texted my Chanel SA and she says she has not heard anything about an absolute discontinuation yet. So I don't know, but Boy de Chanel foundation is phenomenal. I have it on right now. I absolutely love it. I will put a card up to where you can go watch the review if you want to see it. And hopefully by the time you're watching this, it's still available. Again, they discontinued my favorite lipstick I found out this past month. They're discontinuing this possibly, hopefully not. Why do brands do this? If it's not broke, don't fix it. This is marketed for men. Anybody can use it. It's fabulous. I love it. It's the perfect natural coverage. It is not too shiny. It's not too matte. It takes on the finish of the powder that I have on top of it. It can be manipulated in lots of different ways. I am in the shade number 30, medium light, and I love it. Please don't discontinue it. I don't even care if you remarket it. Put it in a different bottle. Name it something different. Just please don't discontinue the formula. The blush I have on is the blush that you saw in my last video of Shop My Stash, and it is the Nude Envy Cream Blush in Ibiza Nude. It is this beautiful peach, highly pigmented blush, which you probably saw if you saw that video. And it's just absolutely gorgeous. It goes on great, it blends great, it melts into the skin, it lasts a long time. It's what I have on my cheeks right now. I don't have any other colors, I don't need any other colors, but I want some more colors because it's a great formulation. It's quite a bit of product, at least it looks like it. It's 4.3 grams. And I had never tried anything from Nude Envy before this. I do want to try some of their lipsticks. If any of y'all have tried their lipsticks and know that one of them in particular is very similar to MAC Creme de Nude, which is what they discontinued, please let me know because I am in search of a dupe. But I love this and I have worn it lots this past month. This one I haven't talked about on YouTube, but I do have a video of it, a reel using it on Instagram. It is what I have on my eyes today, and it's the Chantecaille Cheetah Eye Trio. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. They sent this to me, and I did not have as much expectation for it as if they brought out new luminescent shadows or new mermaid eye colors, because as a rule in the past, I tend to like those more than I have liked their single pressed shadows, but I stand corrected. Again, it's what I have on my eyes today. It is only 3 colors. It is expensive. Obviously it's Chantecaille, so some of their proceeds will go to the Cheetah Foundation that they are supporting with this launch. This is the beautiful packaging. I mean, really, Chantecaille never misses on packaging, in my opinion. This right here is, and you could probably see how it's almost like a putty shade. And it does apply a little bit better with your finger than it does a brush, at least for me. And it's just a perfect neutral palette. Do you have these shades already in your collection? Quite possibly, yes. This is gonna be a purchase for someone who buys all of Chantecaille's collections. It's just something you do, you collect them. Someone who really enjoys the packaging, someone who likes the color story, likes them together despite maybe having the colors. It is not something that I'm saying everybody in the world absolutely needs because, again, it's a neutral palette. But I was very pleasantly surprised at the formula, at the ease of use, at the colors, which I swatched in that Instagram, but I'll swatch them here for you. It's very neutral. Like when I say neutral, it's extremely neutral. It's almost like taupey in tone, but you can see that the matte brown shade is extremely neutral. That is just that pretty bone shade, and then that is kind of a taupey shimmer shade that I said was kind of almost, it definitely doesn't have kick up, and you can just see from the dent in it that it's almost like that putty to powder formula. And then finally for makeup, I have to give a shout out to the Dior Show Stilo Cream Waterproof Eyeliner in Matte Green. I have been wearing this on repeat. I featured this in my full face of Dior video. This is the only color I have. Green is my favorite color. You're gonna see that in another item that I talk about here in a minute. But it is this like deep forest green, but you can still tell it's green when it's on my eyes. Sometimes when colors are this deep and I put them on my eyes and I blend them out like I tend to like to do with my liners, it just ends up looking like a light black or a dark brown. You know, the color doesn't say true. This does. It is especially beautiful with pink eyeshadow or rose gold eyeshadow, which is how I used it in that Dior video. I just think the color contrast and combination of those two are beautiful. I do have it on today though, and I just love it. I have worn it with so many different colors. I have worn it by itself with no other eyeshadow. It is waterproof, so it does stay put, but I do have a little bit of playtime to be able to buff it out, which again, I like to do with all of my eyeliners. But even using a makeup wipe and really scrubbing like 3 or 4 times, you can still see the outline. And I had just put it on my hand. 2 fragrances that were standouts to me this month. One was sent to me, one I purchased. The one that was sent to me was by Twisted Lily. I did a whole video on these with Chad. My fragrance videos definitely get my lowest amount of views, and I get it. I'm a beauty channel. Fragrances started a few years ago for me, but it is a love of mine, and I especially love it when Chad comes on with me to smell different fragrances because we tend to have very different opinions. And he came on and we smelled through quite a few of the scents within the Born to Stand Out line. And this is the full size that I have, and it's called Sugar Addict. So this is a scent within itself, but it also says fragrance sweetener. So if you have something that is maybe very, very, very floral, you wanna add a little bit of sweetness to it, or it's very, very dark and you wanna add some sweetness, this is a great layering fragrance as well. But it is basically rum, sugar, vanilla, tonka. It's got some coffee, cinnamon. I'm gonna wear this one today. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray it on. I haven't sprayed anything. It is just this, it's a comforting, warm, not too cloying sweet, in my opinion, fragrance. And again, it's great layering with other things, but I love wearing it by itself. I'm a sucker for anything rum in a fragrance, and it definitely stands out in this. The main 3 components that I get are rum, coffee, and vanilla. It's beautiful, so beautiful. Another one that I bought that I just couldn't not get, and I was lucky enough to be able to find a partial of it from someone in a perfume Facebook group, because these are not cheap and I get it, but Maison Crivelli, which is one of my very favorite houses, launched a brand new perfume recently called Oud Cadenza. First of all, the bottle, okay? Now, if you know my perfume videos at all, then it is no secret that my favorite scent of all time is Patchouli Magnetic from Maison Crivelli. The Tuberose Astral will probably be in my 24 favorites for fragrance. I just really wanted to get my nose on this because the notes sounded perfect. Cinnamon, saffron, cardamom, ginger, nutmeg, dates, caramel, oud, sugarcane, incense, myrrh. Myrrh is one of my favorite notes ever. Davana, vanilla, tonka, cacao butter, patchouli, musk. And this is not for everyone. And when you look at the notes, you think it's gonna be a lot sweeter than it is. It's actually not sweet at all, in my opinion. And it's so hard to detect, as it is with a lot of Maison Crivelli fragrances, one particular note. The oud is not overpowering. This is gonna be something that if you wanna dip your toe into oud fragrances, this is gonna be a good one to get your hands on. I think right now it's still only available overseas. You're gonna have to pay shipping if you want to buy this, but Maison Crivelli's site itself has some really good sample packs or travel size discovery sets that include this. Again, you're just gonna have to pay shipping, but I really like this. It is earthy, but with a little bit of a sweet undertone without being too sweet. The oud is dialed down. It is still there. I can smell the dates, but it gives it more of a syrupy scent than it does a sweet scent. It's very hard to describe. But if you have the opportunity to get your nose on this, I highly recommend it. And then finally, for my very random, I have to tell you, I finally got a Vitamix. And I just brought the bottom part in here because I didn't want to put it all together. But this is the bottom part. This is the green that I was telling you about. If you watched my smoothie video that I did with Chad, goodness, a few months ago now, then you know we make smoothie. We're still doing that. I still have one. I try to have one every day. I have a minimum of 5 a week, and it has done phenomenal things for my stomach and my gut. But we decided to get this one because I bought it on QVC, and I watched some of the videos, and I saw some of the things they were mixing up, and I'm like, that has no lumps whatsoever. I mean, they were putting stuff in full green grapes, and none of the skin, like the skin was just pulverized. I was like, this is sorcery. What is this? So we got it, brought it home, and sure enough, there's not a single clump, lump, chunk, anything, any of those awful words. Why am I saying those words? I do not like those words, but they're not there when you use this, especially when you use it like for what we do, which I'll put a card up if you haven't seen that video. Highly recommend. I know it's not cheap, but it's an investment. They come with really good warranties in itself, and we are loving it. So that is it. That is the culmination of my August favorites. Let me know what your favorites were for the month of August. I'm so excited for September. To me, September is the start of fall, despite the fact that it's 100 degrees here today, but we're not going to talk about that. Holiday launches, all the fun stuff is starting to happen. Everything I talked about is going to be linked down below. It's going to have coupon codes if they are affiliated with them. I do use affiliate links, so I appreciate if you choose to use those. So if you aren't subscribed to my channel, be sure and do that before you leave so you don't miss out on any future videos. And I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day.